You know how everyone's talking about AI in business? Well, you sent over some really interesting material on this.
hmm
And we've really dug into it, sort of pulled out what we think is truly important for you, as a modern entrepreneur trying to figure all this out.
Yeah, today we're taking a closer look at the actual practical opportunities and,
Yeah.
importantly, the steps you can actually take to bring AI, artificial intelligence, into your business effectively.
Exactly. And the info you shared, it gives a great overview of how AI is, well, evolving and the impact it's having, like right now.
And our goal really for this deep dive is to boil it down, extract the key insights that help you not just understand AI, but actually use it, use it to grow.
Right. Without getting lost in all the complicated jargon.
We're focusing on what you can actually do, actionable steps.
Okay, perfect. So let's unpack this. One of the first things that really jumped out from the material was this fundamental shift. AI isn't some sci-fi dream anymore.
No, it's here. And what's fascinating, and the sources really point this out, is the, let's call it democratization of AI.
Democratization? How so?
Well, entrepreneurs like you now have access to these incredibly powerful tools. Tools for data analysis, trend prediction, automation, stuff that honestly was completely out of reach just a few years ago, unless you were a massive corporation.
Okay, that accessibility is key. So the first big strategy the text highlights is all about data, which, okay, sounds obvious, right? Data is important.
It does sound obvious, but AI takes data-driven decision-making to a whole new level. It's not just having data, it's what you do with it.
How does that work, practically speaking?
Well, if you think big picture, these AI algorithms can sift through huge amounts of raw data sales figures, customer interactions, market trends, whatever, and turn it into genuinely useful insights.
Instincts like,
Like understanding precisely why customers behave the way they do, or how to optimize your marketing spend down to the last dollar, or even making your supply chain way more efficient.
okay, finding those hidden patterns we might miss.
Exactly. Patterns in vast amounts of information done automatically and incredibly quickly.
And the text specifically mentioned predictive analytics. What's the core idea there? Is that like fortune telling with data?
Huh, sort of. But based on math, not a crystal ball. Essentially, predictive analytics uses AI to analyze historical data and then forecast what's likely to happen next.
Okay, so for someone listening, how might they use that?
Well, imagine using AI to look at your past sales and website traffic. It could then predict, with pretty good accuracy, which products might spike in demand next quarter.
Right, so you could adjust your inventory or marketing ahead of time.
Precisely. You get ahead of the curve instead of just reacting.
Okay, now this next one, automation. I think this is something every entrepreneur can get excited about. The material was really buzzing about AI handling those repetitive tasks.
Oh, absolutely. Those tasks that just seem to eat up hours every single day.
Like what specifically? What did the sources mention?
Well, think about AI-powered chatbots for customer service. They can handle all the common questions, 204/7 instantly.
Okay, freeing up human agents.
Exactly. Or smart algorithms for managing inventory, making sure you don't have too much cash tied up in stock, or worse, run out of popular items. And even AI, helping generate initial drafts of content for your blog, social media, email marketing,
Wow, okay. So it's about efficiency, letting AI handle the routine stuff.
which frees up you and your team,
Hmm.
your human resources.
Mhm.
You can focus on the more strategic work, the creative thinking, the relationship building.
Which ultimately saves costs and boosts productivity, right? Makes total sense.
And then there's personalization. You know how crucial it is now to connect with customers on a more individual level?
Absolutely. Generic messaging just doesn't cut it anymore.
Well, AI is a potential game changer here. The text details how AI systems can analyze customer data, purchase history, browsing behavior, preferences in real time.
Real time.
Yeah, to deliver really tailored recommendations, personalized marketing messages that actually feel relevant. Even customized product bundles or offers.
So, like that feeling when a website suggests something you were just thinking about.
Kind of like that, yes. But hopefully less creepy and more genuinely helpful. It leads to stronger customer relationships, increased loyalty, and ultimately more repeat business.
That direct link to loyalty is powerful. Okay, this next point was really interesting to me, how AI is actually fueling innovation itself.
Sorry.
Not just improving processes, but creating new things.
Right. The source material talks about using AI in the product development lifecycle.
How?
Think rapid prototyping. using AI simulations to test countless design variations very quickly, way faster than physical prototypes.
Okay.
Or using algorithms to suggest new material combinations or design features based on performance data or market gaps. It's like having a superpowered R&D assistant.
So it speeds things up and potentially lowers the risk
Okay.
because you're iterating it digitally first.
Exactly. Lower risk, lower cost for innovation, and you can respond much faster to what the market actually wants or needs.
Okay, let's talk about something that's always top of mind for entrepreneurs: risk. Managing uncertainty.
Definitely a big one. And the text highlights how AI can actually help assess and manage various kinds of risk.
How does it do that? By seeing into the future again.
Not quite seeing the future, but spotting warning signs much earlier. AI can analyze market trends, operational data, even news feeds to detect anomalies, things that look unusual or potentially problematic.
Like potential supply chain disruptions.
That's a great example. Or forecasting potential financial challenges based on changing economic indicators. The material even mentions using AI models for financial planning, running different what-if scenarios.
So you can model, like, what happens if sales drop 10%? Or what if our main supplier has issues?
Exactly. It gives you a more proactive approach to risk, potentially helping you avoid really costly setbacks and just operate on a more stable footing.
That proactive element seems key across all these strategies. Okay, so those are the big strategic areas. But what does this look like day to day? The text you shared had some great concrete examples.
It did. Let's run through a few. In marketing and sales, for instance,
Yeah.
AI tools can optimize your ad campaigns almost automatically, figuring out which messages resonate with which audiences, making your targeting incredibly precise.
So less wasted ad spend.
Hopefully. Yes, and it can help generate content ideas, identify high-potential leads for your sales team, even track brand sentiment online, how people are talking about you.
Okay, that's powerful. What about customer service? We touched on chatbots.
Right. Chatbots and virtual assistants are huge, providing that instant 247 support for common queries. It frees up your human team for the more complex, empathetic interactions.
Which probably leads to happier customers overall, I guess.
That's the goal. Better experience, more efficiency. Than in operations and logistics.
Yeah.
AI is being used for things like optimizing delivery routes, predicting demand much more accurately to manage inventory, even automating certain tasks in warehouses.
Streamlining the whole back end.
Exactly. Making things run smoother, faster, often cheaper.
And financial management. You mentioned risk, but what else?
AI software can help with budgeting, creating more accurate financial forecasts, detecting potential fraud patterns that humans might miss, and even assisting with credit scoring if that's relevant to your business.
So getting a much tighter grip on the numbers.
Yes, making smarter financial decisions. And finally, human resources, HR.
How does AI fit in there?
Well, think about recruitment. AI tools can help sift through hundreds, even thousands of applications much more efficiently, identifying candidates who best match the criteria.
Saving a ton of time,
A
presumably.
huge amount of time. Plus, AI can analyze things like employee performance data or satisfaction surveys to identify trends and maybe suggest areas for improvement in management or workplace culture.
Interesting. So really touching almost every part of a business.
Potentially, yes. The applications are incredibly broad.
No, it can't all be smooth sailing, right? The material you sent, it did touch on some challenges or maybe considerations.
Absolutely. It's important to be realistic. One major point the sources emphasize is data quality.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Pretty much sums it up, yeah. AI learns from data. If your data is messy, incomplete, biased, or insecure, the AI's output won't be reliable or helpful. So getting your data house in order is step one.
Okay, critical foundation. What else?
Human oversight. AI is a tool, not a replacement for human judgment, especially when it comes to ethical considerations or potential biases creeping into the algorithms.
So you still need people in the loop.
Definitely. For monitoring, for making final decisions, for ensuring the AI aligns with your business values and goals. You can't just set it and forget it entirely.
Right, and the text also mentioned the learning curve, didn't it?
It did. Adopting AI isn't like flipping a switch. There's a learning process involved.
For the entrepreneur, for the team.
For everyone. It might mean needing to partner with AI specialists or invest in training for your existing staff, maybe even hiring new people with specific AI skills.
So it requires some investment, not just in technology, but in people and learning.
Yes, and building a company culture that's open to experimenting, learning, and adapting, because this technology is evolving so fast.
So these aren't necessarily roadblocks, but definitely important things to factor in as you explore AI.
Exactly. Important considerations for a successful implementation.
Okay. So, looking ahead then, what's the future look like? The info you shared seemed pretty optimistic, painting quite an exciting picture for entrepreneurs who embrace this.
Yeah, the sources